wanted to ask about women in tech. So I know for you're quite an active supporter. You do talks, you host events. I just wondered what that means for you, from your point of view.
I think growing up, I was in a school where there was equal number of boys and girls. So that's the kind of environment I've grown up in. But then moving into workplaces, it feels like that balance just starts decreasing, especially if you look in the infrastructure platforming space. I feel like there is not equal number of men and women. I still don't know what the real reason is, because platform space does inspire me as a woman. So I'm sure there are other people. It does feel like there's a little bit of prior history of ops. When we said ops, it used to be men in the past. So there are these preconceived notions that used to be, which have been changing over the years. And I think talking about what infrastructure space means, what platform space means, what in general the engineering space entails, and it doesn't mean you have to be like the super smart person in science and maths. It's not all about it. It's more than that, is what I think. So my agenda has always been to create that awareness around what exactly, especially I'm more interested in the DevOps space and in the infrastructure space. So those are the areas I often talk to other women about who are not in engineering, saying how it's relatable to other similar roles they would have done in the past, and how there are transferable skills that they could bring into engineering as well. I think in the past in the FT, we have had a few people who have changed careers and joined the FT. And FT has been very good at nurturing and bringing them into the whole engineering ecospace that we have and stuff. So I think for me, it's about creating more awareness and getting young people realize that it's not something that happens in a corner in a dark space.
No, I've got two daughters, and my eldest nearly 13, and she likes the computer science, and I have to be careful I don't try and drown her in if you learn Python, it'd be really good for you later on in life. It's just I just want to encourage her to do as much as she wants to do, but not turn her off, but realize that if she wants to, she can go and do that. I guess it's I don't want to stereotype or put her in a box that says, oh no, you can't do that at all. I want to help her get to where she wants to go, So, so on that, have you seen from, over the years, have you seen positive steps? You just mentioned FT and how they help enable, I guess, the positions to become available and actually take people on that are changing a career, but then nurture them and help them to get on the right path. Have you seen positive steps in general in the industry, or not that you necessarily know, but has it actually had a positive impact, do you think, over the last few years? I think it probably has.
I do feel like there is. I do feel like there's an increase in awareness, at least in what people knew in the past versus how it is these days. There's also a lot of boot camps and the crash course kind of courses that have come up these days, which is quite useful and like a good place for people to hook into, and then see if they're even interested. So I volunteer with Code First Girls, where I teach Python there, and it's a good the kind of students we have there is quite mixed. So there are people who want to build a website for their company or a startup that they have, to someone who wants to actually get a profession in an engineering company or something like that. So there's a wide range of people who are interested in tech. It's just I think now I do feel like there are more opportunities where people can get hooked into these things. I'm sure there's still more to be done though.
Oh yeah, I suspect so. I was just going to say, is there anything that you would suggest, or any, just to level the playing field? I mean, I don't know if,
I think one thing that FT does really well, and I would encourage any company to do, is we encourage a 50-50 split in the number of candidates we interview when it comes to a role. So if we saw only 5 men for a role, we wouldn't close that role at that point, but actually make sure we see enough number of diverse candidates for any role that it doesn't mean that we would end up hiring someone just because of their background. It will always be the hire will only be based on their the quality of skills they've got, but then at least giving an opportunity to everyone to apply and interview them is something that we've done quite well in the last year and a half or 2 years. And I think I would encourage any company hiring for people to think about how do you diversify your it's like a funnel, the candidate funnel, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes, I can imagine that's always it's whenever I've been for jobs, it's almost like a rush. They want to get people through the door quickly, and as soon as they find the person, it sort of stops. As opposed to you might think you found them, but we just want to almost just rubber stamp that and check that against another set of candidates, and then almost see everybody and then make the right decision. That's good. I don't know if it happened or not, but did anyone ever kind of inspire you in your journey? I guess did.
I mean, I think I've had a few people who have inspired me and who kind of nudged me. Who kind of nudged me to get me to where I am today as well, to some extent. So I think so when I started, I was like, oh, one day I would want to be a system architect, kind of something in that space. I didn't know what exactly that meant. But then I've had mentors who actually helped me move in that direction. And I think having someone as a mentor and also knowing who your sponsor is, not just your mentor, is very important. So mentor is someone who would coach you with the different aspects of your career and where you want to get to and all of those. But a sponsor is someone who actually will find you that next position that you can take and take help you move in that direction, and also has some powers who could actually do something. So I think not just having a mentor, but also having a sponsor is important all the time, I would say. Something that I've started recently is not just having mentors, but a buddy as well. Preferably someone who doesn't work in the same company, if possible. Just who you think is in the same level as you is a good thing. I've found that to be very useful for me, at least, where I have a buddy who I think we talk just once every month, but we discuss about problems that we face or challenges that we have in our space. And we find that we're not alone, and all companies have similar challenges to work with. And then that kind of gives you ideas of how you can translate it into how you can move in your career as well. And I think a mentor is quite useful in asking you those hard questions. Where do you see yourself in like 5 years time or whatever, which if it was just left to me, I would have probably never answered that question. But just because I have a mentor who asks me those questions on a regular basis, it makes me think, okay, I have to answer this person at least. So let me actually give some thought. But that's actually helped me move up in my career. And I think I would suggest anyone to have at least a mentor, if possible, a buddy, and surely a sponsor.